In the last video, I bought this 2015 Street Triple off of Copart for 700 bucks.
Bet.
I then got it delivered and decided to take it for a little ride. I now noticed this hole in the radiator, so out of frustration, I kept my impact gun. Luckily, I still had the radiator off of my other bike that got a paint job from hell by the previous owner. Here's a better look so that you don't think I'm over exaggerating. Anyway, I put the new radiator on after draining the coolant and mounted it up. Something I'm really not excited about is this guy right here. Oxygen sensor is broken off. I already have the replacement, but the problem is that this part that actually goes inside of the exhaust is broken off. I have to be very creative with how I get this removed. I really doubt that I'll be able to just grab onto it with pliers.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this.
No, it isn't threading. Never mind, this was super easy. Now it's time to install the new forks as well as the triple tree. Luckily, all that came on the other bike, so we're good. However, here's a quick little time lapse of me spending hours upon hours cleaning off the terrible layers of paint that were on this bike's parts. I used acetone. It worked pretty good, but there might be better options out there. You just have to be careful with not getting acetone on the fork seals. Now I'm using a plastic welder to fix the ignition switch because somehow that broke off of its mounting points. And as it turns out, the forks on the 2015 and 16 are different, so the calipers that originally came on this bike don't fit the new forks. That could be because of different bike configurations. I think the 2016 was a better spec. Now I am having a hard time deciding which front wheel I should use. This is the wheel that came with the crackhead bike, and obviously, as everything else on that bike, it is painted to crap. But that's once again a lot of de-painting things, and I had enough of that. My other option is those wheels over there. They're from a Daytona that I used to have. I obviously also have a rear tire, so I could put both of these on and then the wheels would match. This came off of a very good riding bike. That wheel, I don't know, I never rode on it. I have no idea what I'm getting into if I use that. So I'm gonna throw in the wheel spacers. We're gonna grease up the axle and slide it out. Perfect. I think the next step would be to install the new brake calipers. Before I forget about the ABS sensor, I might as well put that in. Oh man, I forgot. The Daytona did not come with ABS. We are missing the rotor for the ABS. Luckily this is pretty simple. There's only 5 bolts holding this down. Turns out that these brake rotors are different. Man, okay. I'm starting to think that using the Daytona wheel is not the best idea. It also looks like these brake lines will not work with calipers. I was hoping I'll be able to only replace the caliper, but as you can see, the angle on this brake line at the attachment point is, it's almost straight. However, on this bike, we have 90-degree bands in the brake line. So not only am I gonna have to do paint removal on these calipers, I'll also have to do paint removal on the lines, which should be pretty easy. It looks like it peels off already. I'm a little overheated. The problem is both of these are ABS bikes, so brake lines aren't as simple as just unbolting them from the master cylinder. Instead, they go in through here, under the tank, go to the ABS module right there, and then circle back in. That means that I would have to take off the tank, I'd have to take off the air box in order to access all of this. I really don't want to do that. I'm just complaining. Going down to right there. So that's what we get on bolt, and then it should be free to go.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, I'm losing shit. A stupid myth, you choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
So we have the extractor hooked up to the bleeder lines with a T separating to each caliper. That way I can do both calipers at once. We're gonna pump this a few times, create a vacuum, and open the valve. This should keep us from having to push on the brakes whatsoever. In terms of headlights, I have these off of the Kraken bike, where obviously we have paint just like everything else on that bike. However, this mount and everything else is pretty solid. Obviously, the cluster is not going to be getting used. And here's what the headlights actually should look like without the paint on them. But the mounts in the back don't look very good. Chances are that these bolts are just holding down the chrome part inside and the lens is glued on. That's usually how headlight lenses are mounted, at least in cars. Oh wow, look at that. So the 4 bolts are only for this plastic part, which is great. So between the 2 bikes we had enough to make 1 pair of solid headlights, which is exactly what I did. I also then found out that the cluster on the original bike was messed up, so that's why here I'm switching the backs of both clusters so that we have proper mounting points on the new bike. And now with some passionate love and hip thrusts, the whole assembly can slide into its place. Okay, it is now time to start her up and see what happens. By the way, the mileage is at 11,000. I was slightly concerned about the sticking noise, but I'm pretty sure, well actually I'm positive at this point that it was due to the headers being a little loose, so I had to tighten them down. The reason why we were smoking so much, I'm pretty sure, is because oil got into the exhaust when the bike crashed, which makes sense. The bike was probably tipped over. There is definitely a lot of oil in the exhaust. You can see it collected right here, and then I can also tell that it was spraying all over this rear tire, rear brake, which is not very safe. The swing arm is soaked in it. So all this has to just burn off. It's gonna smoke for a little while. It's gonna scare my neighbors, but hopefully they don't hate me after this. I am actual brand new in this neighborhood.
Sold out shows for 1,000 faces, hey! Give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift, oh!
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah, there's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions, each do what they...
While the paint was drying, I figured I'd see how this bike rides. For one, I need to let it run a decent amount of time so that the oil in the exhaust burns off. And secondly, I just want to see how the bike is handling, if there's any issues or noises that I need to pay attention to.
My own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Looks like the amount of smoke has decreased, so I think my assumption is still correct. I think it just needs to all burn off, and that takes some time. Oil doesn't really like to burn unless it has to, so we're forcing it to burn off inside the exhaust. I decided to reuse the stock turn signal connectors, so I just chopped off the old signals. They were destroyed anyway. Reconnected these, and now we have these tiny little LED guys that we're gonna plug in. Next, I want to figure out a good way to mount new turn signals. The problem is that the stock ones look like that. So when you install it, it covers up both holes properly. Obviously, that's not the case with these. I wonder if I should just chop off this part of it. Perfect.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the face.
Remember what it used to look like
No, it looks great.
when we got it out of the van?
Oh. No, it looks great.
And go get off